What's up everyone, Max Tech Toy Box here doing a unboxing and sort of initial setup process for the Garmin Forerunner 645 Music. So as you guys see here, I got it's like a rose gold type color. Checking this one out. Just gonna go ahead and set it up. Go ahead and select, pair with phone, yes. So I'm gonna open up the Garmin Connect app. And let's see, we'll go to Garmin devices here and add device. And awesome, it actually picked up. So that's cool. With Garmin, it was the same way for the vivoactive 3. It like almost immediately finds it, which is nice. Similar to the way that the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active and the newer Samsung devices work, like the Samsung Galaxy Buds. So this is the 645 Music. So this one does have the Spotify app available to it, so you can download music through that. I think Deezer and iHeartRadio as well. I forget the exact number of songs that it is able or capable of downloading and listening to. Pairing was not successful. Let's try this again. So I'm not sure now it says connected. I'm not sure the number of devices, the number of songs that you can download and listen to. I have to double check that. You're expecting, I think, a little bit longer battery life than the vivoactive 3. This one is a little bit more expensive as well. I got this for, I think, around $400. The vivoactive was $200. So whether or not it's enough to justify that extra $200, I'm not sure, and I'm going to have to test to find that out. I really do like this color combination though here, this black and gold. I'm a fan of that. Yes. Okay, what next? Yes, next. Sync now. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this through its paces, and by the time you guys come back, I will have used this for maybe about a week or two. So see you guys soon. And we're back. So I've been using the Garmin Forerunner 645 Music for about 2 weeks, so I'm ready to give you guys my final thoughts for this review. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the build. This is stainless steel here. I'm outlining. This is copper, like a rose gold, more gold than rose to me personally. I think it's a nice finish. That's why I decided to get it. On the top right hand corner, you have your start and stop button for your workouts, your back button. Down here, you have your down and up toggle, and then you have your backlight. Okay, so this is not a touchscreen. Any and all maneuvering is done via these buttons. On the other side, you have your optically based heart rate monitor and your proprietary charging ping pongs there. It says quick connect, industry standard 20mm bands. Fairly simple to get on and off. Not going to do that now because when you're doing things from behind the camera, things are always a little bit harder to do. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the things that I don't like. And number one is I hate the advertising that Garmin did for this, stating that it's 7-day battery life. So this is a fitness tracker and a device that you're going to use to monitor and track your different workouts. So if you're working out, let's just say once a week, I'm sorry, not once a week, but once a day, there's no way that you're going to get 7 days out of this. Now, and all you're using this for is just to monitor your steps, and you're not going to work out, then yes, you may get 7 days. But why advertise this as 7-day battery life? Like, that makes no sense, especially if you're going to use it for all the features that it comes with. If you're using this for any GPS tracking, as we know, that significantly impacts the battery life. If you're using this with the heart rate monitor, that's going to significantly impact the battery life. If you connect Bluetooth devices to this to listen to music, it's going to significantly impact the battery life. So how about you do a test where you know you're doing a majority of these things and you come up with a number instead of saying 7 days, because you're just setting up your users for disappointment, and you know it's just not good advertising. Another thing that I didn't like was that there's no touchscreen. After using the vivoactive 3 and I got used to that, the fact that this didn't have touchscreen was a little bit of a letdown. I had a big issue. If you're someone that has never used the vivoactive 3, then you won't have a problem there. And going along that same train of thought, I didn't like that there were some vivoactive features that did not transfer over. For example, when you started a workout, like let's just go here and I'll start a workout. We'll go to strength, right? And free, Cool. So I'll start it. So here, right, shows your reps, heart rate, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's say I just finished a set. So you hit the back button to go into rest. Now for the vivoactive 3, a new timer starts here and it shows you, it'll say like rest timer and it'll show you the time. On here, it didn't do that. So the first couple of workouts that I had, I was a little confused. I was like, wait, how have I been resting for 7 minutes? I wasn't, exactly sure how this was working. So instead, what they do for the Garmin 645 Music is, as you guys see, that backlight or the background became dark. So that's how you know you're in rest mode. And then when you go back, finish that, and you start your next set, it's now a white or clear, whatever you want to call it, background. So if you're coming from the vivoactive 3, that's something that you have to get used to. Let's see. Also, just the maneuvering with the buttons instead of the touchscreen took a little bit of getting used to. Again, if you've never used the vivoactive 3 and you just had to use this right out the gate, then you won't necessarily have that issue. But like I said, so the problems or things that didn't transfer over was the rest timer screen. Workout screens in general were just different with the information that they provided. Let's see. Also, I felt like the user interface was slightly more of a learning curve, even after coming from another Garmin device. So the way that a majority of almost anything works in the tech industry is if a company announces one device, let's say if you have something that's on the lower end, right? The lower end device, and then you have your middle end or your middle range, and then you have your high end. Subset of features or the way that you maneuver and get around from one device to the next is all going to be the same because of familiarity and because you want users to learn one way to maneuver between things, and and it's going to stick for all of their devices. It works for almost 95% of everything. Here, that's not the case. Maneuvering with this and using this and the features took more of a learning curve than, like I said, for the vivoactive 3, just based off of the previous things that I just now said. Like with the workout screens, it just was not displaying the same sort of information. So on my strength training workout screen, of course this is all customizable and you can set it up how you want it to, but on the vivoactive 3, when you go to workout, it automatically shows you your heart rate and your reps, and I think the time. On here, I had to set up so that the heart rate was displayed along with the time and reps. Like, I think out of the box, it just showed like reps and time or something like that. So not a huge issue, but again, it's just like if you're moving from one device to the next, which seems pretty streamlined, and that's what people would do if you've been using the base model and you decide, that base model runs out and you want to upgrade, you would think that the way that you maneuver would just be the same. So I understand why things are different, but just figured I'd throw that out there. Another thing that I didn't like is the proprietary charging dock. These prongs, don't like it. I mean, wireless charging would be better. I don't like the clip-based style charging that they have. It is what it is. Also, a larger case option for this would have been nice, like a 44mm case would have been nice. And then the last thing that I did not like is that updates had to be applied through the computer. That's a huge to me, like 10 steps backwards. How is it that you have your device, the vivoactive 3, which for all intents and purposes is a general fitness tracker and is lower in the totem pole than this, and you can apply updates over the air, via Bluetooth, through the phone, Wi-Fi, whatever the case may be, and then you have to connect this to the computer to apply an upgrade. Garmin, get your stuff together. Okay, then moving on. Some of the things that were in the middle that, I didn't necessarily dislike or like, notifications. It's the same thing as it is on the vivoactive 3. No issues really there, but for someone or for some people, they may not like it. You can still see the entire message. It'll display here on the screen. You can still see the messages on here, as I stated. But again, you can only respond with custom canned messages that you have already input onto the app that have been uploaded onto the watch. It's nothing that you can custom put in like via your voice or text directly from the watch itself. Again, you can answer calls, but when you answer them, they go directly to the phone. Another thing though that was a little weird, again, because this is supposed to be the higher end device, is that I felt like the heart rate monitoring for strength training was not as reliable as the vivoactive. I I don't know why, but my heart rate was considerably lower or less on average than they were when I was training with the vivoactive 3. And when I compared this when using a chest strap monitor, it was lower. Albeit, I know that all the research shows that wrist-based heart rate monitoring is not going to be as accurate as chest strap monitors. With the vivoactive 3, it was closer than this was. So just putting that out there. So now let's get to the good stuff, the things that I did like. So even though this is a proprietary dock here that you have to use for charging these prongs, it's quick charging. You can get 0 to 100% pretty quickly. I think I got 50% in about 30 minutes. So not bad, that's a good thing. Decent battery life as well. So I had to go out and say that I hate when they advertise 7 days and then you don't get 7 days, because it just makes the product look bad. But this actually gets decent battery life, just like the vivoactive 3. I'm getting about 3.5 to 4 days. Now, that's with me using this primarily just for fitness tracking, GPS tracking for maybe one run every 3 or 4 days, working out every day with like doing treadmill and strength training, but only using GPS once, and using, I think I would like sparingly use the music on the phone to stream. If you're streaming music from the watch to Bluetooth headphones, of course, like I said earlier, that's going to impact the battery life more often than not. But like I said, I'm getting about 3.5 to 4 days. If you're using this to stream music every workout, or if you're doing a lot more GPS tracking, then you're definitely going to get less battery. I would say if you're doing that for every workout, you'll probably get 2 to 2.5 days of battery life. But yeah, so the other thing that I really did like is the robust fitness features. So continuous heart rate monitoring, just like you get with the vivoactive 3. The training status, it gives you detail, as far as estimation for breaks in between workouts. So for example, I'll go down here. As you guys can see here, training status, maintaining fitness load. So let's see if I go to start. It tells me my VO2 max, which is cool. It tells me how often or the amount of time that I should use for recovery in between workouts, which is good. That's what I meant earlier. It gives you a training load. So I'm not 100% sure how they come up with this number. And I tried to do a little bit more research, but essentially this range, you want to be between, optimal training load range to let you know that you're not overtraining or that you're undertraining. Okay. Again, I don't know the algorithms that they use to come up with this, but this is good to know that I'm in the optimal range and that I'm not overtraining. And then they gave this race predictor: 5K, half marathon, 10K marathon. I don't know if that's true. I don't think I can run a 5K in less than 20 minutes. I think I'd probably get around 23 minutes, so I don't know how accurate that is, but it is what it is. And I don't really know how they come up with that, because I actually have run a 5K with this watch and I came in at like under 24 minutes. So I don't know how they're predicting this. I guess that's based off my VO2 max metric. Maybe they're saying I'm not pushing myself. I'm not sure. Let's see, what else did I feel like they gave? Stress monitoring, right? So you have your all-day stress monitoring. So this will tell you, scroll down, your steps, of course, for fitness tracking. This here is your stress monitoring here. It'll tell you it's measuring whatever. Cool. That's nice. And then that's just music that I have on here. Then of course your calendar and list of events that they have, and notifications, and then weather, of course. And then we're back up top. So it'll let you know if out of the workouts that you did, it's not really a percentage, but a graph that shows you how much of that was aerobic versus anaerobic. If you're doing anaerobic exercises, such as your HIIT, and then your aerobic exercises such as, lifts, where you're doing lots of treadmill running, or if you're running like 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, whatever the case may be. When you're just doing that long distance running, that's going to be more of a aerobic workout. So they show you, based off the workouts that you've done, whether they fall into aerobic or anaerobic, and that's going to be based off of the intensity level and your heart rate that you were doing those exercises in. So like I said, it gives you lots of metrics for you to have in terms of determining how fit you are. So that's cool. Another thing is that I like that you could store up to 500 songs on this, so you can listen to music. You can use Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, or you can go ahead and upload music directly onto the device from the computer itself. And then of course, you can also add other accessories, which is what I really like about Garmin. So even though, like I said, the strength training was not as accurate on the optical based heart rate monitor, when I did put on my Polar H7 for my chest strap monitor, I could connect that directly to this and use it for workouts. I will say though, going over or bouncing back where I said that things were not as seamless, it seemed as if with the Vivo Connect 3, my Polar H7 connected a bit quicker, and almost as soon as I open up the workout, it would pop up and say it's connected. With this, sometimes there was a delay, or if I was switching between workouts, it wouldn't necessarily pop up and show me. So I'm not really sure what that's about. So really quickly, I wanted to go ahead and provide sort of an update. After I was finishing up this review, I saw that more times than not, the heart rate monitor was actually not connecting to the watch as I thought it was. And I'm not sure why this is. So right here I have the Polar H7 heart rate monitor, the sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it now. So I have it connected around my chest, and then usually what you do is you just go here, start, stop, and then I start a workout. And up top, you'll see the heart will pop up. And if it was connected to the heart rate monitor, there would be like these little wireless sort of pings that come from the heart, and it'll say external heart rate monitor connected. So as you guys can see, it's not connected. So if I go here, I go back, and I'll hold down the up button so I can go into settings, tap that, scroll down, accessories, and it shows right here connected. I said searching, not connected, connected, okay? But when I go into the application to try and start a workout, same thing, it's not connected. So I thought that before it was saying that it was connected within the settings, and so that meant that it was going to be connected here, but it's not. It's supposed to pop up. Now you see here, it takes a longer time, and now it says external heart rate monitor connected. So I don't know if that's a glitch in the software or what exactly is going on, but I have been noticing that more often than not, and that's because I wasn't really paying attention. And then here, if you don't start the workout, like when it says external heart rate monitor connected, then it sort of falls off, and I don't know why that's happening. The battery life on my Polar H7 is close to 100. It's a brand new battery, so I don't know why this happens. So like I said, you can connect a compass, altimeter, of course headphones so you can listen to music. So plethora of different options and accessories that you can actually add to this, which is cool. And then the last thing that I really like, which cannot be understated, is the Garmin Connect application. So much information is given with that application, so much social integration as well, so that you can interact with other people that have Garmin devices. You can also with the ecosystem of Garmin devices such as the Garmin index scale, and then they have this other thing called True Up, where let's say if I had this here, the Forerunner 645, but I only use it for when I'm running long distance, and then I switch over to the Garmin vivoactive 3, it syncs between all those devices, which is pretty cool. I think that Garmin Connect application is pretty much the holy grail as to what all of these other applications should do. Apple Health, Google Fit, S Health, Fitbits is pretty good as well, I'm not gonna lie, but I do think that Garmin Connect looks better and it just offers more information. If you are wondering, or if you are shopping between the vivoactive 3 and the Garmin 645 Music, I would definitely recommend the 645 Music, period. However, if you're looking at the vivoactive 3 Music versus this, the vivoactive 3 Music is a better deal because you can get it at around $200. Meanwhile, this is around $400. This is going to give you a bit more robust fitness tracking features though, such as your training load and effect. It's going to give you more information post-workout in terms of your training load and how often you should work out if you're overtraining, and those different metrics. So, but now if that's worth an extra $200 is debatable, okay? So this is Max Tech Toy Box. Hope you guys enjoyed the video review. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else that I didn't touch on that you guys want to know and more information about. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.